Although the late Devonian tetrapods were amphibians which would be the ancestors of all later tetrapods, and thus their skulls would be the ancestral form of the later tetrapod skull. These early tetrapods were not frogs. The frog lineage has been separate from the lineages of amniotes, such as mammals, for hundreds of millions of years. And during these hundreds of millions of years, frogs have evolved changes to the ancestral form. For example, many of the ancestral tetrapod skull bones are absent in the skulls of modern frogs. Modern frogs have skulls which are quite distinctive. They are quite wide, for example. And many of the distinctive features were actually present in the cousins of frogs, such as Triodobatrachus from the Triassic period. In frogs and their ancestors, the frontal and parietal bones have fused to form a frontoparietal bone, which composes the majority of the dorsal region of the cranium. Frogs have retained a pair of prominent nasal bones. The marginal teeth are small and are located in two bones, the maxillary bones, which helps form the wide arch of the frog skull, and in the anterior portion of the face, the premaxillary bone. Although human fetuses also possess a premaxillary bone which holds teeth, the incisors, it later fuses with the maxillary bone. Mammal skulls, such as the human skull and cat skull pictured here, have complex temporal bones with multiple regions which have fused, including a squamosal portion which articulates with the lower jaw, forming the dentary squamosal jaw joint of mammals, a petrosal portion which houses the middle and inner ears and is subdivided into other regions such as the prootic mentioned in the frog here. And within the temporal bone is the space for the middle ear and the small middle ear bones, which include the homologs of the quadrate bone of the frog. So while frogs do not possess a temporal bone, they nevertheless possess homologs of the squamosal portion, some of the petrosal portion, and possess homologs of the middle ear bones, although they are separate bones of the skull and not housed within a temporal bone.